A lot of people think that because you're introverted, you're doomed to be bad at networking. That's pretty much where my story started and my work started. I set out to prove to people that that's not the case, that you can be introverted, but you still can be very social and be able to network effectively.
So, I was just thinking about, how we met, photography class, how you're the one that's basically introduced yourself to me. And I never told you, but I never believed that you were an introvert. So I think it's so interesting that now you're running a business, Skills Tribe, where you actually show people and other introverted people like you how they can still make connections.
My name is Lotanna, the multi-award winning introverted entrepreneur who started Skills Tribe. My story started when I moved to a new country for school. I was introverted, shy, reserved. I had poor social skills. And on the first day of class, I met this girl who was the most down-to-earth person I'd ever met. She introduced me to her friends, and I learned a lot just being around them, observing them. So when I came back, people that had known me before I traveled were very surprised by the transformation. They were shocked that I had gone from this person who was super introverted and had become this person who could walk up to anybody and start a conversation, who could connect easily with people. So I started teaching people, introverts especially, to network, and that led to Skills Tribe. Skills Tribe is networking for introverts. Before I started Skills Tribe, I had dabbled in entrepreneurship. For example, I had a health and beauty business that taught me a lot about how to network for business growth. So it was a huge leap of faith because at this point there was nobody who was doing networking as a topic. So it was very scary to do something that nobody had done.
The first time I heard about the idea of Skills Tribe, I thought it was really interesting. And I thought so because there was, at the time, nobody in Nigeria that was doing anything like that. Fast forward 4 years now, and I'm an entrepreneur myself, I think that it is probably the single most important skill that any entrepreneur, especially an introvert, should have.
Another thing that was really helpful when I started Skills Tribe was the British Council Bootcamp. So at that point, it meant a lot of validation for my business to be selected for it. And then during the bootcamp, they had mentors that were some of the best business people in the UK. The mentors from the British Council Bootcamp were very helpful in growing my business. I'm still friends with some of them and I still get a lot of business advice about how to grow and scale my business from them. When I decided to start Skills Tribe, I asked people in my network what they thought I was so good at that they would pay me to teach them. And the networking topic came up multiple times. And that's pretty much how I settled on networking, and Skills Tribe has focused on networking since then.
Lotanna reached out to me, and since then we've had an amazing relationship, not just a friendship, but also business relationships. At the time, I was looking to pivot online, and she had already started doing some amazing stuff online, so I was learning from her strategies. But beyond that, I exposed her to my community. We did some trainings together, and there are members of my community who have taken part in her networking course, and they are producing really, really great results. And I think that this is a testament of the amazing work that she does, right? If she can get introverts to come out of their shell to express themselves and get to meet people and produce great results and great relationships, I think that that is something really, really commendable.
I've had fulfilling moments with running Skills Tribe. For example, the first time I ever got paid for teaching somebody to network, that was very rewarding and that was very fulfilling. It validated my work. Getting into the British Council Bootcamp was also another very rewarding experience because it again validated my work, because there were about 3,000 people that applied and only 50 businesses that got in, and I was one of those 50 businesses. I've also won multiple awards just running Skills Tribe. I've had clients that have 10x their clients by learning to network. That has been very fulfilling for me. And I've been able to meet 2 members of the royal family, His Royal Highness Prince Charles and His Royal Highness Prince Edwards, from running Skills Tribe. So all of that has been very fulfilling for me. In 2020, COVID happened. And surprisingly, COVID had a positive impact on my business because from the start of Skills Tribe, I've focused on networking strategies that were helpful for introverts. So what that means is I focused on strategies that didn't need people to necessarily go out to network for growth, for business growth, for socializing, for anything.
in 2020, in spite of the COVID-19, I actually had an increase in income of about 50% over my 2019 figure.
Wow. I see a lot of growth in the future of Skills Tribe.